Okay, so this part is easy now. Sine 145, sine 180 minus 35. Okay, second quadrant, 180 minus theta. This one is fourth quadrant. Remember, negative theta is the fourth quadrant. It's the same as 360 minus theta. Negative theta and 360 minus theta is the same. So in the fourth quadrant, cos is obviously positive. So you can just change this to positive cos 55. Okay, and then this one, negative sine negative 235. So we can say it's negative sine, and then you're allowed to add 360. Remember I told you guys the period of the sine graph is 360. It's 360 before it repeats. So when you take any angle and you add 360 or you subtract 360, you get the same answer. So when you add 360 here, what is negative 235 plus 360? It's going to be 125, right? 125. Okay, so negative sine negative 235 is the same as sine 125. Okay, and then for this one, it's the fourth quadrant, so you can say it's cos 360 minus 35. Okay, so we simplified that one. Fourth quadrant, 360 minus theta. Okay, and now we can say second quadrant sine is positive, so it's going to be sine 35. And then this one we can change the cos 55. Okay, now we're looking at co-ratios again. Okay, so we know now this one is sine 35, and we know that when it adds up to 90, you can change the cos to a sine. So cos 55 is the same as sine 35. Okay, because when they add to 90, you can jump from cos to sine. You just make sure they add up to 90. So we can say it's sine 35. Okay, so you can, at any time you can go from cos to sine, as long as you make sure the two angles adds up to 90. 55 plus 35 is 90, so I can change the cos to a sine using co-ratios. Okay, and then here we're going to say 125 is sine 180 minus 55. And here we're going to say cos 360 minus 35 gives you cos 35. Okay, so this part is fine now. Sine 35 divided by sine 35 is 1. 1 minus. And now here we got sine 55. Okay, so it's minus sine 55. And then cos 35 again. We got a cos 35, and now we can change that to sine 55 because they add up to 90. So we can change it to sine 55. Okay, using co-ratios. So we got 1 minus sine squared 55. Okay, when you simplify that, you get 1 minus sine squared 55. And then from the identity, that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. Okay, if you forget that identity, here it is, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. And obviously that means if sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1, it means that when you take the sine square over, you can say therefore cos squared theta is 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, you just take the cos square over, or the sine square over. So here we can say, if you look at this, you can say then that means that 1 minus sine squared 55 has to be equal to cos squared 55. Okay.